Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and I want to do a quick guide for you guys on the Legend Lost sector, the Quarry. Champions are going to be Barrier, Unstop, Burn is Void, so we'll take advantage of that with the Heavy, and then Shields are Solar and Void. Now the Void, not as bad because it's the little Incendior Flamethrower guys, but the Solar Shield is the boss in here. And if you're trying to work on the boss with something that's not Solar, it's kind of tedious to say the least. So my recommendation is actually, like, you can either go Void, which is totally fine. If you can craft, say, like a bow with adaptive munitions, this will work. Unfortunately, then you've got to find another way to deal with both Unstop and Barrier. Now, if you have a Void Sniper, if you have, you know, kind of your options here. If you have Arbalist, fantastic. Covers Barrier, covers your shields, don't have to worry about too much, and you can match like a good linear with it. But the idea is the boss being Solar is kind of the focus of the shield, so finding some consistent way to break it. Either Arbalist, which is very good at that. Wish Ender actually is very good at damage on barriers. Only problem there is the fact that you're dealing with something that's not going to do great against other shields. So you've kind of got this little predicament that it's going to put you in here. But Barrier up top for Sniper, Major Spec. Major Spec on a Pulse Rifle for Unstop. And then I'm going to go Linear just for DPS because I've been using this thing lately and it's been fun. It's kind of a toss-up between like Triple Tap and Box Breathing. Either one would probably be fine for single DPS, but that's just what I've been using. Should be able to get the job done though, so I'm missing one mod it looks like. So let's go inside once I switch this over. I kept thinking this was like Barrier or Overload. Would actually be nicer if it was Overload, but let's go inside. I'll show you guys how it works. Alright, so when you start, you're going to be faced with a couple of Legionaries over here. You're also going to have the Champion down below. You can take care of a couple of these guys first while the Champion's just kind of chilled down there. Makes life a little easier. And then by the time he gets up here, quick stun, couple shots with something Void, goes down pretty quick. Now again, Legendary is easier than Master. Master is mostly just going to have more champions in here. You'd have a Barrier champion in here as opposed to, you know, the other. And these are the Void guys. These are the Void shielded guys. And if you have something with adaptive, so I keep telling you guys, get an adaptive Augma. If you can find one somewhere, however you see it, hold on to one adaptive Augma and you can knock this stuff out a little quicker in case you don't have, like, the best loadouts. You don't have Arbalist, obviously, then, you know, an adaptive Augma is going to treat you pretty well. But if you do have Arbalist, then may not be that necessary. So it just depends on what options you've got in your arsenal. But just for some reason, they keep finding a way to use pulses, so having an adaptive pulse, there's not a ton of them, it's a good way to go. Now, granted, you could probably craft like an Insidious if you've done the raid, but I don't know how many people have done the raids. So again, it comes back to weapons that are readily available to a lot of people that provide you options for dealing with a lot of things that you're going to face. Should be seeing a big guy. There he is. Now, biggest thing about barriers, the nice way to knock them down is if you chunk him first, you're going to force him to pull his shield. And then you can just sit there and wait for him to pop it. And then finish him up. Or just delete him, perhaps. That works too. A couple of reloads. You are going to have a very aggressive little gladiator over here. He can go down pretty quick. I'm on Arc right now. This is a giant mistake, but at least Resilience works as of recording this, so that's good. Hotfix did go into effect, so maybe I'll just delete the boss later on with a super. We'll see what happens. I did not plan to come in here with Arc, but if I can do it with Arc, you guys should be running Void in here, because obviously the burn, your grenades are going to be more effective, all that type of stuff. Up top, when you kind of slowly creep out of this cave, that's why I stopped here, you're going to have two Barrier Colossus come up there. 2 on Master, 1 on Legend, I think, is kind of the order of operations there. Most of the time, I will tell you guys, just do Master, or just do Legend. It is not worth your time to do more than that. Because generally, you're just not going to see any higher returns on your exotics, and it's just going to take you longer to go through the activities. So generally, I would just tell you guys, do Legend difficulty. It's going to be a much better use of your time. The drop rate is not going to be much better. So again, wouldn't worry too much. There's Thunderclap actually getting a little bit of use. Still trying to decide if I like that thing or not. But the idea of what you're going for is you're trying to break the shield on big guy. And then if you can break the shield and get the unstable essence, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage to that boss. And again, you get about 15 seconds on each pickup. Now, there are going to be more enemies that spawn, so if you put yourself in the position kind of like I am now, you're going to see quite a few more. And if you want platinum rewards, you are going to have to deal with the unstop before you kill him. You don't want him, like, disappearing or anything. The unstop's not too bad. Oh, it's going to hurt. Not as bad, because it's a solar grenade. Yeah, a couple things in here definitely sting. Ah, it got me from above. If you're going for a flawless lost sector, you know, just... This room is kind of tight. You got to be cautious. Probably pop your super, for example, but not really too terrible. And mostly what I'm going to do now is I'm going to break the shield and just hit him with my super just to finish it up. Because he's low enough, he's going to die. Then I can probably delete these guys if I can hit him with the headshot, and we're good. Well, I have Void Heavy, especially like a Void Linear Fusion, and Taipan. You can literally go to the Enclave, and everybody can craft one of these things, so I cannot recommend it enough. It's great for DPS and King's Fall as well. Don't always get an exotic, but that is okay. But that's literally the Quarry. Pretty simple. This is just kind of your tight quarters area. If you do it on Master, you're trying to do a Master Flawless, patience is key in this room due to the champions. The barrier, when you come in this room, the barrier is going to be right up here at the top. So remember, take out 1 barrier on Legend, 2 on Master, and then the unstops, you got at least 2 at the start, maybe 2 more depending on when he, you know, gets to that mid-health level. Back to the surface, we'll wrap this up. Yeah, that's basically it. So the boss is the annoying shield, being solar. So having a consistent way to deal with solar helps. However you do that, maybe you've got a solar sniper rifle like Beloved, and then you can switch over to something like a kinetic pulse. Totally either way is fine. Heavy, make sure it's Void. I would also recommend running a Void subclass, unless you just love a specific super, just so your grenades and melees and stuff will be more effective in there. Vortex grenades are going to be great, because you can also set up Void 3.0 to weaken enemies, so you'll be doing more damage to the boss, especially if you're going for anything like Master. But overall, Barrier Unstoppable, Void Burn, and the boss is a Solar Shield. And if you got some way to take care of both Void and Solar for shields, you should be covered. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like below. Share it with anybody who may be trying to farm this lost sector today, or just if you enjoy it, drop a like on the video. If you want to find me on Twitter or Twitch, it's Ebontis over there. And then right here on the channel, if you enjoy these videos from me, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Helps my videos make it to you in the YouTube world. And if you guys are YouTube members or Patreon subs, thank you guys for the extra support. All in all, this one's not too bad, just a little patience. That last room can be a little tight quarters. Not the end of the world if you die. I'm sure you guys will finish it. So good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.